Bonjour, welcome back to Regen Rovers, and today it's a Regen Rovers Revelations video, which is my little side series alongside the main series of Regen Rovers. And this is something that a few people have requested actually. Some people are interested in former Regen Rovers players. Where are they now? A lot of players have left the club during the 4 and a bit seasons that I've played so far. Some of them I haven't really announced because they weren't really a part of the club. They didn't necessarily play for us that much. But there are plenty of players that have played many matches for Regen Rovers that may have gone on to bigger and better things or slumped. It probably more often than not either retired, not found a club, or dropped down a couple of divisions. So in today's video, that's what I'm going to show you. If you enjoy this, please leave a like button, because I could do this every now and then, maybe every 3 or 4 seasons in the future, just to keep an eye on what's going on in the world of Regen Rovers. I do have my player spreadsheet. I'll try and remember to link that in the description below, but you can see all the players that have ever played for the club. If they've left, that means they've been highlighted, and I've signified which season they left in, and all the other details surrounding the players as well. So sit back and relax and just listen to me ramble on about former Regen Rovers players. I'll just start off by quickly showing you the player spreadsheet then. You'll notice that there's not many original players left at the club. Galvin, Robin Grigg, Sean Walker, Ray Rigg, Ross Bradley, Joey Ford, Morgan Fawkes, Joe Colburn. I need to double check that these are still here. I think Ross Bradley and Joey Ford are still here in the reserves. Might need to update some of the day jobs as well, because I think Morgan Fawkes has now finished his university degree, but maybe he's doing a master's or something. But yeah, I mean, there's still lots of players at the club. Of course, all the recent ones, but there's plenty of players that have left the club. So let's start off. I'm going to go down in order of this, basically. So you should all know about Aaron Trollope, because at the start of the 5th season I mentioned that unfortunately he has left. He's had a bit of an interesting history, because of course he started at Regen Rovers, born in Winchester, 3 seasons at the club, and then moved in the 2020-21 season to Tilbury. Only made 1 appearance for them in the league though, before coming back to Regen Rovers. Played twice last season, and then this season he's moved to Horsham YMCA. He's played 3 times for them so far in the Isthmian Division 1 South. And of course, Jeremy Cook-Best. He's no longer a player, but you know, he has now recently become a coach at the club, as well as being still a chef at the Chesel Rectory. No longer head chef, but he is still a chef, doing a couple shifts a week. He's the coach. He drives our coach to away games. He's also the club cook, and he gets into the Phoenix mascot outfit at home matches as well. He does a lot, doesn't he? He's a multi-talented man, is old Jeremy. Jamie Kirkwood has retired. He joined Woking after leaving Regen Rovers. I think he was only on loan, wasn't he, in that first season? Born in Woking, but yeah, he's retired because he's not been able to find a club. Tom Newell, our left back in that first season. Now, he's had a bit of an interesting history, because of course he only played a few games for Regen Rovers before leaving, and it was a bit of a blow because he was, I think, our best player at the time, but he moved to Dartford in the National League South. They saw something in him. Of course, he did start off as the oldest player at the club, so it's not like he was a young player with lots of potential, but he moved to Dartford, played plenty of games in the National League South. Good stuff, but he moved to Harrow on a free the following season in the Southern Division 1 East, so that was the division below us at the time. Played 2 seasons for them before moving to Tilbury. So I think he'd have crossed over with Aaron Trollope, and he's only just recently left after... Well, last year he played plenty of games, 36 appearances, but he's left the club for whatever reason. So, tempted to kind of offer him a contract as a coach or something. I'll have a think about that. If he becomes a coach. I mean, at the moment, of course, he's still a player. Richard Brown hasn't managed to find a club since leaving Regen Rovers in the summer, unfortunately, but hopefully he finds one soon. He just needs to drop down. I don't know why these players, some of them aren't just dropping down and playing in the 7th or 8th or 9th tier. Tom Reaney has retired. Of course, we got him on loan in those first 2 seasons from Gosport, but he never played for his hometown club. And he's retired. He retired at the age of 20. Tyler Jenkins is no longer in the game, so he retired with no history. Ben Mullen, the beard expert, has retired. He played a number of games for us. This usually only shows the league games, so he did actually play more games than that. But yeah, he has retired. So I wish he'd become a coach. You know, it would have been nice to have some of these old names. Of course, we've got Chef, but it would have been nice to have some other players as coaches at the club as well. But he's just left. He's now living in Winchester. He's opened his own beard shop, and hopefully will thrive. Can't find Kingsley Okafor. I've spelt it wrong. That's maybe the reason why. There we go. There he is. Oh, he's retired as well. So he never played for Cheshunt. We had him on loan in that first season, but he's retired too. Russell Higgs hasn't managed to find a club since leaving Regen Rovers in the summer. Started at Bognor Regis, of course. We got him on a free. Played in the first season, but never played after that. It's really annoying. Why aren't these players signing for teams in the eighth or ninth tier? Because they are good enough for that level. But for whatever reason, the game's just not letting them sign for these clubs and actually play games, because they are certainly good enough. Matti Ratti. I used to love this guy, but he's not been able to find a club since leaving Regen Rovers in the summer. Plenty of appearances in the first 2 seasons. Nothing after that, though. It shows his non-competitive games that season. I think he just didn't play last year, did he? But he holds a special place in my heart. John Parsons has retired. Didn't find a club after leaving Regen Rovers last year. Played plenty of games for us in the first season or so, first couple seasons. He was one of the older players at the club. But yeah, he's retired. Living in Winchester still, working as a painter decorator. Ross Andress, striker from the first season, he has retired. I think I mentioned that on Twitter actually. Henry Knowles. Now, is this the same Henry Knowles? This might be a different Henry. Let's have a look. What was his play? I think it's a different Henry Knowles. And there's no other ones. So I believe the other Henry Knowles that we had on loan in that first season has retired. Dan O'Sullivan, another player we had on loan, he's retired. Jamal James, that we'll be able to find him. There's a few players that we just won't be able to find because there was never really featured, so they won't have a history. Lewis McLean. Ben Gale. He's not managed to find a club. We got him on a free in that first season, played a few games in that first season. He was one of the older players because he is actually 23 now, but he's not been able to find a club. This is not particularly interesting, I'm afraid, because this is why I've not done it up to this point, because I know that most of the players just haven't gone anywhere or had particularly interesting histories. Matthew Warren. The next player on the spreadsheet, I've just gone through about 6 or 7 different players. The next player to actually still be on the game is Nathan Coles. He's now 21. I released him in the summer. Still hasn't found a club. See, he could do a job in the 8th tier of English football. He's a very good target man, but no one's signing him. Dave Reynolds, a striker that played a few games for us and scored 1 league goal for us, I think, in that first season. He's retired. He retired at the age of 19. Is there going to be anyone that actually has a club? Ray Winter, central midfielder we had on loan. He's retired as well. All these young players retiring. I suppose they could be playing Sunday League football, couldn't they? But I can't find anyone. I'm searching for all these players and no one has anything interesting about them. I'm glad we managed to sign Chef though. That's something, isn't it? Okay, at last, Carl Collier. Now this is a player we let go. Well, we didn't really have much choice. We signed him and he was our best left back. We got him on a free when Bournemouth released him. He played quite a few games in that. Was it the second season? But then Carlisle came in and nicked him for free. He went on loan a couple times actually. He's played twice in League 2 for Carlisle. But yeah, he's just. I mean, perhaps I should try and get him back, but I don't really know if he's any better than what we have now. I don't think he's better than Assini. Patrick or Paddy Malone still playing in Northern Ireland. I liked this guy. He scored a few goals for us, didn't he? We got him in that at the end of the first season. He scored 1 goal at the end of that first season. In the second season, 2 goals. It was an okay start, but then he went for free to Larne in Northern Ireland. He's never played in the first team for them. Actually, 1 sub appearance this season. I don't know if he's still only 19. It seems like light years ago that he was playing for us. But yeah, he's still only 19 years old. McEachran. Still at Dartford. We got him on loan for 1 year and he was pretty good, to be fair. 6.97 rating in the league, 4 goals, 3 assists in all competitions. He's gone back to Dartford in the National League South, so he's in our division. And he is starting for them this year, finally. He's broken into that first team. Not a bad player at all. Anthony Catley, we had him on loan for 1 season. He was a bit of a pace merchant at the back, but he has retired. He played a few games for Slimbridge. But other than that, nothing. And he's retired at the age of 19. Albie Ring, he's retired left winger. Played a few games for us on loan. Jamie Jupp, he's vanished off the game. John Haynes, left back, never played for us, played some reserve football I suppose. He's still on the game at the age of 18, but I'll be surprised if he finds a club because none of these players are finding clubs. Ray Halliday, brother of Rob Halliday of course. He's not been able to find a club since leaving in the summer. Nathan Bearwish, he's failed to find a club as well since leaving in the summer. Elliot Meacham, once again another player that left in the summer, hasn't been able to find a club yet. And likewise for Richard Ivings, he's not found a club, so all of those are probably going to retire. Luke Mooney, I love him. Still, even if he keeps rejecting me, I still love him. I want him to come back, and I will keep trying to get him back on loan until he accepts or until we can afford to buy him back properly. But he's only playing reserve football for Crewe. I'm hoping they're developing him, because if he develops a bit at Crewe, then if we do get him back one day, hopefully that he'll be slightly better. But he's still only 18, there's still plenty of time to grow. I'm not sure his attributes have grown that much. I think pace and acceleration have both increased to 15 now. But yeah, it's the player traits really worked well for him with our advanced forward, because he was good at running down the right hand side, he was good at beating the offside trap, he was good at running with the ball with pace, good dribbling. We've just not had a player like him. I thought Alec McCann could replace him, but I don't think he's got those player traits, and I don't think he's got the dribbling ability. He's not quite as fast either, but Luke Mooney, he'll always be in my heart, even if he keeps rejecting me. Sean Cross, we had him on loan for only a couple months in the end before going back to Tilbury, still on the game. And I think he's the last player to have left the club on my player spreadsheet. So, not exactly the most interesting. And there's a few players, Luke Mooney, Aaron Trollope, Chef, Paddy Malone. There's a few players that have either gone on to other clubs or become a coach. But the rest of them, they've just all retired. However, this sort of video might be a bit more interesting in the future. I'm definitely not going to do this every year because there's literally no point. Most of the players are retired. But we'll keep an eye on the likes of Mooney, that's for sure. Cole Collier, Paddy Malone, McEachran. We'll keep an eye on those players that still are on the game. And possibly every 3 or 4 seasons I can do this again. But obviously just focus on the players that are still on the game, not the ones that have retired. But yeah, thank you for watching this. Sorry it was maybe a little bit disappointing. We don't have any players that have gone on to be superstars, that's for sure, and I'm not sure we will for a long time. But players in our current team that potentially might leave at some point, realistically, you know, Okoro's just been so good, but whether the game thinks he will be good enough for divisions above us and clubs will come in for him, I don't know. I don't care if that doesn't happen, because if I can hang on to him for as long as possible, brilliant, because I love him. He's such a good player. Other players, Marcus Higgins. You know, I think he could do a job in a division slightly higher, but no one's really come in for him. I suppose now I've got them tied down on proper contracts. I've not seen teams come in. Samuel Assini, great player at left back for us. Avison, so good at the back for us. You know, there's some players in this team that I can see us going up at least to the National League Premier with them, possibly to League 2 with the likes of Okoro. Maybe Okoro can play even higher than that, I don't know. He's still only 20, still young for a goalkeeper. So I think there's some interesting stories ahead for some of the players in this team right now. But yeah, until next time, enjoy Football Manager 2019. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.